Testing 1, 2, 3. All right, I'm going to discover some things that I've learned about the modes. The modes have been something very elusive to me when I was younger, and I never really paid much attention to it playing guitar. But I've had a breakthrough with the modes lately, and here's my layman's and simple layman's terms, my way of explaining the modes in the easiest, most possible way. Now, you might have heard that C is the Ionian mode. Right? And they'll say from C to C, right, is Ionian. And you have no sharps or flats. So the easy way to remember is C is Ionian. And it's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then the octave again, which would be C. All right? And that is called the A major scale. There's actually more minor scales than major scales. That's something else I learned from studying this. So, but did you know that every note in the scale is also a mode? So this is the breakthrough. Okay, first of all, let's just do this real quick. Let's do the building blocks of music. And think of these as guitars' frets as well, because it's made up of intervals of semitones and whole tones, right? The scales, that's what really they are. This Ionian is do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. That's what that one is. You could draw this a lot better. I'm just being... Okay, so let's say that this is C. You skip a whole tone to get to D. You skip another whole tone to get to E. But remember, E and F are only a semitone away. There's no really E sharp. E turns directly into F, and F goes right back to E. So it's E, F. Okay, then G would be here. Then A would be here. And B would be here. That is the Ionian mode. And if you darken in where the notes show up on the fretboard, then you'll see the intervals of music. Now, what would happen here? C would be a semitone away, and that would be the octave. See? Now, so if you counted the notes, right, it would be 1, 2, 3, 4 would be where the semitones are. Okay, 5 is a whole tone, 6 is a whole tone, and 7 and 8 would be a semitone, right? This is the key, or I shouldn't use the word key because that sounds like music. This is the cheat sheet or the intervals that you have to use to make any scale sound like Ionian. So if you started on D, you would go D, E, okay, then that would be F, then it would be F sharp, G, see? Then it would be A, then it would be B, then it would be C sharp, and then it would be back to D. So that's how you would play D to sound like Ionian, like the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do one. But here's the thing that I found that's a breakthrough. D is easy to remember. D is Dorian, just like the hurricane that's bearing down upon us right now. In Florida, I live in Florida, it's coming right for us. But we're hoping it's turning to the north soon. So D is Dorian. And it's going to start from D to D with no sharps or flats. So if you play D on your guitar with no sharps or flats, go D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. That is Dorian. And if I was to draw out this whole interval thing, it would be D. Okay, hold on. E, F, G, A, B, C, D. See where the intervals are? The the semitone intervals would be on notes 2 and 3. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it'd be on 6 and 7. And then 8 would be the octave. All right? And guess what? E is Phrygian, which is the one I've been obsessed with for quite some time now. So E is Phrygian, and obviously, if you play no sharps or flats, you're going to go E, F, G, A, B, C are together, D, and then E. And of course, the intervals 1 and 2. 3 and it's 5 and 6 as well. And 8 is the octave. So what you're learning here is how to play any key, any note in the scale in a different mode. So if I was to play D into Phrygian, all I'd have to do is use the intervals that Phrygian has, which is EF, which means the first 2 notes have to be a semitone. So you would just transpose it. So if it was D, this would be D and D sharp, right? Then you would skip from D sharp to A, then this would be G sharp, I believe. Wait a minute. If it was D, okay, if it was E, and let's say I wanted to play D in Phrygian style, I would play D, the note D of the scale, and then D sharp, then that would be A. I'm sorry, what am I saying? Then this would be B, C. No, wait a minute, no. It would be B in C sharp. Anyways, you'd have to actually write it down. If I wrote it down, I could figure it out. But the key to remember is these intervals are what make the mode sound different. So let's just go along here and just finish this real quick. F is Lydian. Okay. G is Mixolydian. Okay. A is Aeolian. And B is Locrian. The only major scales are C, F, and G. The minor scales are A, B, and the rest, E, and D. So see, F would be F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. So it would be, it's almost like a mixture of Ionian. That's why it's close to Ionian. That's why it sounds like a major scale. So E and F would be the 7th and 8th notes would be the semitone, similar to the Ionian, and it would be the 4th and 5th notes, which would be similar to, which we haven't seen yet. It would be Aeolian, I think. So now A would be, or let's go to G. G is Mixolydian. So you would say G would be G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, then A. So your semitones would be between the 3rd and 4th, which would be similar to Ionian. That's why it's also a major scale. And E and F, which would be the 3rd and 4th, 6th and 7th, which would be like the Dorian. So you got 6 and 7 are the semitones, and 3 and 4. And A would be just the no sharps or flats. The Aeolian mode is A. It'd be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then back to A, whole tone. So that would be similar to Dorian, because your 2nd and 3rd note are the semitone, and 4th and 5th note are your semitone. I should write this in a better way. I wrote it on a sheet at home. It looks much better. I might edit it and show you how nice I wrote it up. I wrote all the blocks real evenly so you can see. Because you get these blocks darkened in like this, you actually see the building blocks of music. And it's not as confusing as this. So B is the last one, is Locrian, which is also minor. So it'd be BC. So the first and second note would be semitones, just like Phrygian. Then you'd have D would be a whole tone. Then E and F, of course, would be the next semitone. And then G, and then A, and then a whole tone to B. So this is similar in many ways to a mixture of two scales. It would be Lydian and Phrygian. That's how you get the Locrian sounding mode. So basically, it's not confusing at all when you just stick to the fact that each letter in the scale, C through B, is also in its natural state, all natural, meaning if you literally, the easiest way to remember it is, if you just played C with no sharps or flats, that's Ionian mode. It's C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. If you played D with no sharps or flats, you just played the notes, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. That's Dorian. If you played E with no sharps or flats, you just go E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E. That's Phrygian. If you just play F with no sharps or flats, it's F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F. If you played G, it's Mixolydian. It's just G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Aeolian is A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A. Locrian is B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B. And that is the modes. And if you wanted to play any of these in its different state, like if you wanted to play, like I was saying earlier, F Lydian, but you wanted to play D to sound like F Lydian, you'd have to go to the Lydian scale, which would be F, and realize that the semitones don't show up until the 5th and 6th note, or the 1, 2, 3, the 4th and 5th note, and the 7th and 8th note. So all you got to do is transpose D into that same structure. So if I can do it in my mind here, let's see. I'll just write it down. So you go, if I was going to make D into a Lydian sounding scale, I would play the first note D, and then I'm going to go down to Lydian. It's a whole tone, and a whole tone. So it'd be D, E, okay, a whole tone would be F sharp, okay, and there's a whole tone again. So it's whole tone, whole tone, whole tone, whole tone, whole tone. So F sharp would be the G sharp, would be a whole tone. And then you'd have A, and that would be, okay, wait a minute. Yeah, I think it would just be regular A because the 4th and 5th are semitones, so G sharp to A would be a semitone. So you'd have just A, and then you would go a whole tone again to B, which makes sense. And then you would finish up with a whole tone. No, 7 and 8 are semitones. So you'd go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it'd be a 7. Okay, from B, it turns right into C. So C sharp would be a whole tone, right? So let's make sure this is right. So it's whole tone, whole tone, whole tone, half tone, whole tone, half tone. So it's whole tone, whole tone, whole tone, half tone, whole tone. Okay, what? Okay, F is whole tone, half tone. Okay, whole tone, half. Wait. Whole tone, half tone, whole tone. Is it whole tone, half tone? I'm just confused. It's whole tone. Okay, it's whole tone, half tone. Whole tone, half tone. Okay, whole tone, half tone. Whole tone, which would be C sharp. And then C sharp would go back to D, which would be the octave. See? Now I'm not like I said, I'm not proficient at this stuff. I'm just learning it. But see, with some effort, you can figure out to play D in the Lydian mode. You go to your guitar, and you can actually lay this out on the fretboard real easy. You start with D, you'd play D first, then E, then F sharp, G sharp, A, B, C sharp, and then D. And you're playing D in Lydian mode. And it would give it a major sounding sound instead of D, the Dorian mode, which is a minor sounding scale. So that is the breakthrough, folks, that I've had. I don't know if it helps anybody. It probably would help people that have with little or no knowledge of music theory. I've not really discovered anything great. I'm just, in my feeble way, trying to figure out in layman's terms and explain to you what I've learned that hopefully helps you to learn the mystery of the modes, and they're really not that mysterious. Just remember, every note is also a mode in its all-natural state. Again, I'll wrap up with C is Ionian, D is Dorian, E is Phrygian, F is Lydian, G is Mixolydian, A is Aeolian, B is Locrian. Those are the modes. Those are the scales. And if you want to transfer any of these into each other's mode, you just follow the cheat sheet, which shows you in their natural state where the semitones show up. Like, for instance, if I wanted to do D Dorian, but I wanted to play E, which is Phrygian, in the Dorian style, I would just move those semitones to the second and third note of the scale and the sixth and seventh note of the scale, and it'll have a Dorian mode sound. The end. Thanks for watching.